Can we jump onto the dichotomy of control, please?
Yes, we can. So this is like really, really important. It's a core Stoic tenet, and I have some quotes here, but it's what it sounds like. It's literally distinguishing what is in your control from what is not in your control. And by doing so, this massively simple trick, it allows you to get bothered about what you should get bothered about and not give your attention to the things that you cannot control whatsoever. So this comes from Epictetus, but that's a bit misleading because Epictetus actually didn't write anything down. He was a bit like Socrates. He was like, no, I'm not writing anything down. So he had a student called Arian, and that's who wrote Discourses, Fragments, and the Handbook. So everything that comes from Epictetus is sort of paraphrased from Arian. So it's an understanding of what is up to us and what is not up to us. So this is a quote from Epictetus. There are things which are within our power, and there are things which are beyond our power. Within our power are opinion, aim, desire, aversion, and in one word, whatever affairs are our own. Beyond our power are body, property, reputation, office, and in one word, whatever are our own property and our own affairs. And then he carries on and he says, the chief task in life is simply this: to identify and separate matters so that I can say clearly to myself which are externals not under my control and which have to do with the choices I actually control. Where then do I look for good and evil? So you control how you respond to a situation. That's within your control. You control your opinions, your goals, your desires, your actions, but you don't control how other people think of you, the reputation. You don't control basically your body. You don't control whether you get sick. You do have some control over that. Like you could exercise, eat a healthy diet, stuff like that. But you could, let's take COVID, I suppose you could catch COVID or anything. So just by like having that simple distinction between what you do control and what you don't control, it allows you to just focus on the things that really matter. And it's like, it's such a small mindset shift, but you just ask yourself, is this something that I have any control over? If it is, then like get bothered about it. But if it isn't, just don't even care about it. Don't even humor the idea of like giving any time and effort towards it, because it's going to be a futile attempt if you do. So there's also a book that's a guide to the good life, and this talks about a trichotomy of control. So it kind of takes Epictetus's dichotomy of control and adds one more category to it. So those things within our control, those things outside of our control, and those things we have some control over. So let's imagine starting a business. You control the effort you put in. You control the goals you put in, but you don't control whether people buy your products. You don't control whether you have like better competitors in the market and stuff like that. So it's just really about prioritizing the things that are up to you and the things that aren't up to you. And in any situation, just ask yourself, is this up to me? Like, do I have control over it? Because if you do, then yes, like work towards it. But if you don't, there's absolutely no point in putting any effort in it. So like you shouldn't care about what people think about you. You shouldn't care about material goods too much, because at the end of the day, that could all disappear and it doesn't really matter.
Can I ask what you're like in airports? If you know your flight's going to be delayed, does it annoy you?
So this is the thing, right? I've only been on I don't think it would annoy us that much, unless like I had an event to get to and I'm like, I'm going to miss the event. But I've only been on a plane like a few times, and I went to Spain with my best friend when I was like maybe like 10 or something. And then I went to Australia, which was my first big like travel. And I'm not a fan of planes. Like honestly, it scares us. I know it's really irrational because you're like on the plane and you're like, right, this is it, I'm in it, so I just need to keep going. But yeah, like I don't think it would bother us. Like it's outside my control, so why would I let it bother us? And that's an opportunity to read a book or catch up on emails or whatever it may be, fill in the blank, but like you can always utilize the time.
Because what I always used to find is that I'm kind of okay if I know my train's going to be delayed or whatever, but my wife hates it. She panics, she gets really annoyed. And my point is always, look, Lisa, you can't do anything about it. You just have to wait. We can't make the plane come quicker or the turnaround or whatever. And it's a practical thing that everyone gets affected by, but sometimes there's nothing you can do. Although the one interesting hack that I learned this on the Eurostar on the way back from Paris once, was that she was worried that we weren't going to make our connection at St Pancras to go back up to Newcastle, and she was panicking quite a lot. And we'd been together probably 15 years at this point, so I knew her pretty well. And what I started to do, and she never watches this, so it's fine, I started to pretend to panic. So I started to say that I was worried about the changeover or whatever. And basically she then mind flipped and changed to then try and calm me down. And therefore she was less panicky. So now if that ever happens, I just totally mess with her. And I was
Funny.
pretend, but it works. But the point is, it's just, it's when something is completely out of your control, it is what it is. It's annoying, but don't let it ruin your day.